Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Breaking news. LeBron once again called himself the GOAT, saying, quote, "I'm not taking nobody over me," when asked about the GOAT debate. So, I was like, a lot of Jordan fans are going to get angry again. I'm a LeBron fan, man. I let it slide when he says things like that because I don't find it as offensive as the entire world does. But funny enough, I got recommended this video where it says Jordan, Wilt, and Russell discuss who the GOAT is. So we're going to find from 3 of the potential GOATs who they think the GOAT is, hear how they talk about it, because y'all really be hating on Braun when he calls himself the GOAT. So let's see what some of the other greats of all time have said. LeBron specifically said in his quote, Jordan would probably call himself the GOAT. Kobe, Kareem, everybody who is in the GOAT debate would probably call themselves the GOAT. Wilt, Russell, I'm pretty sure he named all of them. So let's check out this video, see if Braun is absolutely wrong. I think it's fitting that YouTube is recommending this to me right now. Thank you, YouTube, for always coming in clutch. Let's go. Two Fun Productions. Y'all, what a dope intro.
I mean, listen, I know that basketball is a team game.
Right.
And you've already made Michael number one. But if you had to have Will against Michael, my prime and his prime, how much money would you be willing to bet? Wow.
We're at the NBA's all-time team celebration, Cleveland, 1997. And over in the corner is Wilt and Michael Jordan. And they're sitting at a table arguing vociferously as to who the greatest player of all time is. And they're back and forth. And it's just intense as can be. And so now David Stern comes into the room. And he says, "Okay, guys, time to go." And Michael and Wilt are still going at it at this table over here. And so David finally says, "Come on, Wilt, Michael, we got to get going." And so they stand up. And Wilt, who always has the last word in everything, Wilt looked down at Michael and said, "Michael, just remember, when you played, they changed all the rules to make it easier for you to dominate. When I played, they changed all the rules to make it harder for me."
Okay, this is a really common thing present day. People saying LeBron got it a lot easier. They changed the rules to make it easier for modern day players. Wilt saying the same thing. He said they changed the rules to make it harder for me and easier for you. That's kind of crazy from Wilt.
And there was no retort, no comeback. Wilt Chamberlain, oh my gosh.
I wonder if you
Man, I would pay a lot of money to hear that debate between those two.
care about being called the greatest basketball player ever. Does that matter? Do you want that?
I don't want it in a sense because I think it disrespects Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, all the guys that prior to me, I never had a chance to play against.
That's Jordan's media answer. I've heard it a lot, him talking like that to the media. I really want to know what that unfiltered conversation was with Wilt. Because right there he mentioned Wilt. He's like, I don't want to disrespect Wilt. But I wonder if in that conversation with Wilt, if he was like, you know what, man, I don't want to disrespect you. I want to give you your flowers. And it was Wilt that was coming at him. I'm kind of curious how that went.
When I hear it, I cringe a little bit because, it's a little bit embarrassing because no one knows, I'd never had the chance once again to play against those guys, I would love to have played against them, but I never did, and for you to say that I'm better than him, I mean, it's your opinion, it's their opinion. I accept that as their opinion. If you ask me, I would never say that I'm the greatest player, and that's because I never played against all the people that represented the league prior to Michael Jordan.
The greatest player of modern times is largely considered to be Michael Jordan. Have you had any interaction with him?
Yes, I think he's a great player, and I have the ultimate regard for him. He says to me one time, we were out in the middle of the golf course, he says, they just won a championship, okay? He says, we're gonna go up your record. I said, which one? I said, well, we won 11, but we won 8 straight. I don't think you'll live long enough to get either one of those. He says, but it's easy to win championships when you play. And so I said, well, think about it this way. When I was a rookie, there were 80 jobs in professional basketball. So a lot of good players didn't make that. I said, if there were only 12 teams, you couldn't have won that championship. He said, why? I said, because facts. He hits his open shot. won the game. Well, if there were 12 teams in the league, he couldn't have made that shot. He said, why not? I said, because he'd been up in the stands. And that's not a knock on him. That's to talk about the quality of the NBA.
I picked him out.
Again, dude, like, Jordan has a very appropriate response to the media. But to Bill Russell in his face playing golf said, your championships were too easy to win. If I played in that era, I could have won that many championships. And Bill Russell said no.
As the #1 center of all time as far as concerned, because he was a complete basketball player.
Over you?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna pick him over me right
Really?
now. Yeah, because he also helped his team to win a lot more than maybe I could have helped my team to win. Sometimes the mere power of you makes you more individualistic. I have said this before. Wilt Chamberlain, the Boston Celtics, might not have been the same. Because I would have taken away from Bob Cousy, from Tom Heinsohn, because I was a scorer too. And then all of a sudden now they had to pass the ball to me, and they would take something away from them. So, sometimes less is better.
Yeah.
So that's how I view it. But I'm talking about the fact that the man could score. He averaged 17 points a game, which is only about 7 points less than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was the supreme rebounder. He got the ball for his team, which made it happen. He's high in assists, and we all know how he played defense. You can't ask for any more for that position. So he's my choice.
Who doesn't sit here and think, what if? I'm pretty sure Bill Russell's sitting there, what if he played in the era that we played in? And, I'm no different than, what if I played in this era? I mean, financially, it'd be different, but I think from a competitive standpoint, I think it would be a lot different. Not that playing against Magic, Bird, Barkley, Ewing, all those years wasn't fun, I think. But I'm pretty sure those guys, along with myself, wish that we could have played against the Kobe Bryants of this era and Tim Duncans, and obviously we feel like we can compete.
You, Michael Jordan, Wilt.
You didn't say LeBron. Why'd you show a picture of LeBron?
Obviously, we feel like we can compete.
You, Michael Jordan, Wilt. You have to pick one person. Who do you pick?
Well, you pick Bill Russell. For the reason, he will never distort your defense or your offense. And I played games in my peak where I had 6 shots. I could close down the whole front court. The way I play, my team wins.
Bro, Bill Russell saying between him, Wilt Chamberlain, and Bill Russell, who he's picking Bill Russell. That is straight up what LeBron said. I'm not taking nobody over me when asked about the GOAT debate. This is what I'm saying, man. Okay, hear me out. If you're a Jordan fan, I beg you hear out my argument real quick. Before you just say I'm a LeBron fan and I'm hating on the legends and LeBron is disrespecting the legends of the past just because that's what Jordan says. Jordan is the GOAT when it comes to knowing how to handle the media. Okay? LeBron is bad at it, dude. LeBron said whatever comes to his mind, he don't give a crap. Jordan, he wouldn't even endorse political figures because he didn't want to upset people with politics. LeBron don't care about that. LeBron welcomes the hate because he stands for what he believes in. Okay, we've established that. Do you really think Jordan believes everything that he says to the media? I'd never pick the GOAT. That's not for me to decide. I think that's embarrassing. He probably does believe that to an extent. But at the same breath, he said to Bill Russell on the golf course, your championships were a lot easier to win than mine. So do you really think the most competitive guy in NBA history, and Michael Jordan, was telling Wilt Chamberlain, dude, you're amazing, man. I'm never going to take away from you. We can't say who the GOAT is, man, because I never played you. You really think that's what their heated argument was about? No. Jordan and Wilt were going back and forth on why they were the GOAT. So just because Jordan doesn't profess it to the media the way LeBron does, that doesn't, like, I keep seeing like all these quotes of like, if you're truly great, you don't have to say it. People will say it for you. Or like all these dumb quotes that people are pulling together. To me, it's all BS, man. LeBron's the only one with the guts. Bill Russell said it too, man. Let me take that back. LeBron's not the only one with the guts. Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain are both outwardly spoken about why they're the best, how current day players could not compete with them, how they changed the rules for later players, the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, to be different from the difficult NBA they had to play in. This is not new. This is LeBron getting hate because he's LeBron. So if you were to tell, if LeBron and Jordan were in a room by themselves and they were having the GOAT debate, I don't think Jordan would give Bron the, yeah, I never played you, so there's no real way to tell. Jordan's going to say, I'm taking me over anybody. Okay? So that's my take. I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, believe that in closed doors, Jordan thinks he's the GOAT. Bron thinks he's the GOAT. Bill Russell thinks he's the GOAT. Rest in peace, Bill Russell. And I believe that with all of my heart of hearts. I do. I think they're just media trained and they know what to tell the media to not get hate. Jordan loves his retirement, man. He said it himself. That's why he barely does interviews. He barely does blah, blah, blah. He wants to spend time with his family. He wants to live a peaceful life. If Jordan was going on TV on First Take and saying, I'm the GOAT over LeBron, you really think he would have a peaceful life? No. That's why he gives the media answer to it, and LeBron doesn't. And I don't hate Bron for it, man. I literally, like, y'all can keep spamming those stupid comments of, like, if you're great, you don't call yourself great. If you're a king, you don't have to call yourself a king. That's BS, dude. That's BS, man. I think that's stupid. We know what these players think behind closed doors because we've heard stories like what Bill Russell said on the golf course. The Wilt Chamberlain, Michael Jordan debate right there. I think that's the truth. And I think we get the little pretty picture from the media. So anyway, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear a genuine... Like, I'm not saying this stuff to stir the pot. I want to have a genuine discussion. Do you genuinely believe Jordan is given his full, unfiltered answer, knowing who he is, knowing how competitive he is, knowing the trash talker that he is, knowing how obsessed he was with being number one, knowing how obsessed he was probably in those debates with Wilt Chamberlain and on that golf course with Bill Russell? Tell me in your heart of hearts if you believe at all what Jordan is saying to the media, or if he's just doing it to have a peaceful life. I genuinely want to know. This isn't me stirring the pot to get comments. The people who I've had good conversations with, that's who I'm talking to, okay? So let me know. Because to me, Bron calling himself the GOAT is no different from what other players are saying behind closed doors. Bron just don't give a crap and he says it out in the open. Homie gets hate for sneezing too hard. They're like, that hurt my ears. I hate you. You're not the GOAT. That's LeBron's career, man. So let me know what you think. And I'm gonna try to respond to every comment on this video because I'm genuinely interested. But don't leave some dumb spam, I'm a hater thing. No. Leave me something real. See you guys.